You're watching today's Money TV show. Join top innovators, investors, and business leaders as they share insights for success in today's fast-paced economy. Hosted by Hugh Knight Robinson.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Today's Money TV. I'm your host, Hugh Knight Robinson. And today we have two incredible guests who are experts in their field. Our first guest will share insight on how strategic investments and tech transfer are driving innovation and financial growth. Our second guest is a visionary marketing leader with deep expertise in brand strategy and revenue growth, helping companies transfer into market leaders. Whether you're focused on scaling your business or positioning your brand for long-term success, you won't want to miss today's show. Let's get started. Coming up on today's Money TV, we are excited to introduce Wen Zhang, a visionary marketing leader with expertise in brand strategy and revenue growth. Wen has proven track record on transforming companies into market leaders. Join us as we explore her insight on driving success and building powerful brands in today's competitive landscape. Hi, Wen, how you doing?
Hello, I'm well. How are you doing here?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. Wen, I'm very excited to have you on our show. I've heard a lot about you. I've read a lot about you. I finally got you on the show. Tell us a little bit about what you do in your company.
Of course. My name is Wen Zhang. I'm a founder and CEO of INNW Institute, which stands for If Not Now When. Today, we support business leaders, entrepreneurs, executives, help them tell the right story so they can get yes. Yes from investor, yes from customers. Because we deeply believe that each and every one of us, we are just one story away from changing the world. And telling the right story, we can shine our light authentically and getting all the yeses. That's why we are here today.
Wow, that's beautiful. It's almost poetic. It's almost poetic.
Thank you.
Now, when your expertise is being able to tell the story, and that was a beautiful way to put it. And one of the things is being able to get your outlets. I know your main outlet is LinkedIn. You don't really use as much Instagram or anything like that. So why LinkedIn? Why not all the other stuff?
Yes, a great question. It really depends on you. Depends on, it's not about me or your preferences, it's about where your customer are. Today, if you are B2B SaaS business leader, if you are in a corporation, if all your customers are on LinkedIn, we need to meet them where they are. It's never about what we want to say, it's about what they need to hear. We need to bring the right message in the right place where they rather hear us, and so we can get that connection established. At the end
Okay.
of the day, today, 97% of professionals are on LinkedIn. So if today your customer are, those professionals who are, have a LinkedIn profile, I said it is so important for us to show up there authentically so we can have a chance, have them to seeing us and be recognized and connect through there.
It sounds very personal. That's very personal. And
Yes.
I get that, and I guess you have to be able to connect to your audience of who you're trying to go after. If you're going to a B2B or if you're going to B2C, so it makes sense. It's that Instagram stuff. It's a more B2C situation. Now you've got over 37,000 followers on LinkedIn. How did you do it?
First of all, I'm so honored those 37 beautiful people trust me and want to follow me. I am extremely grateful. A few things to do LinkedIn, in my opinion, that to do it right. Number one here is tell an authentic stories. And it's like, here right now, you and me having a coffee, assume that across the table, how I will show up in that coffee meeting is exactly how I want to show up on the LinkedIn presence as well, virtually.
Absolutely.
And today I
Absolutely.
have found many business leaders, they of course they crushing in in-person event meetings, conversation. and virtually they so shine away from that quote unquote spotlight, and therefore they still the best kept secret on the internet. To me, that's we are losing so much opportunity. So step one is show up authentically. That means I'm telling you who I am, I tell you what I do, I tell you why what I do matters to me, just like how I would speak to you, but in my personal profile. And that means a photo as you see me, my headliners, my about sessions, my experiences is exactly how I will have a dialogue with you. That's the step number one, having an authentic profile. Step number
Okay.
two is about how do we share our gift authentically, how to share our expertise authentically. As a
Hmm.
leader you are, I imagine you have your superpower. You have something that you know so deeply well, and your customer are looking all around to find where is this person can help me solve XYZ problem. So how can we show authentically? In my opinion, is how we can rising up, being the thought leader, share with them our expertise in the forms of post, update.
Okay.
By tell
Okay.
them, hey, there are three things we should, three strategies we should be mindful of to get more visibility in 2025. They
Hmm.
are five tips to help us for the future of workforce transformation 2025. Think about those topics relevant to your ICP, your ideal client profile. Think about what is problem that they are obsessing every single night, looking for answer. How do we create those posts aligned with their issues, their perspective, and give them a gift? So then they can, engage with the post, say, wow, this is amazing. I have no idea who this person Wen is, but this post about how to gain visibility in 2025 and 10x our business, that is so interesting. Hey, let me read this over. Oh, hey, maybe my colleague Rachel should also see this. Let me tap that Rachel in the post. Or let me share that with my boss, Mark, see whether we should think about that for our departments. Through the authentic engagement, now people say, wow, she is a leader. She is an expert in this space. We might need to support on that. Let's see whether she can support us on that. So it's that authentic engagement, authentic connectivity that how you and me are showing up in life. How if I go to your home for dinner, I will bring a gift first and foremost before we
Right.
converse in the conversation. Exactly that. So two things.
Okay.
One, your profile need to tell the story. Second, share your gift through the post, through the conversation to engage with the ideal clients authentically. By doing that, we can all rising up and gain followers.
That's very cool. Very cool. So how would someone from our viewers contact you? How would they be able to reach you? Is it LinkedIn? Is it the website? What's the better way?
Yes, first of all, I'm very, very active on LinkedIn. So if you search my name, Wen Zhang, INW or ATS, whatever, you should able to find me quickly.
Hmm.
Or go to my website, www.ifnotnow.wen.com. You should find me easily there.
Okay, wonderful. Wen, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us, to share your knowledge with our audience, and hopefully we'll have you on the show again.
Thank you very much, Hugh, for the amazing conversation. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you so much, Wen. Next on today's Money TV, we're thrilled to welcome Yuri Cataldo. With a deep background in strategic investments and tech transfers, Yuri brings a wealth of knowledge to the table. Stay tuned as we dive into the latest trends and insights shaping the future of innovation and finance. Hey Yuri, how you doing?
Hey, Hugh, I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. Yuri, so tell me a little bit about your company and what you guys do. I am very excited to hear about it.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you so much for inviting me today. I really appreciate it. So, I'm the co founder and partner at Athenian Capital. We are a data first venture fund based in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And what makes, I think, my background to this a little bit different is, especially from other venture capitalists, I'm actually a classically trained set and costume designer. And so, in my previous life or my 20s, I studied at Juilliard and the Yale School of Drama for design and worked on Broadway for a number of years before the economic downturn hit New York, and then took my learning from my creative industries to the entrepreneurship world. And so I founded a number of companies, my first being a bottled water company called Indigo H2O that went on to win 3 international awards, was named the top tasting water in the world in 2015. And then I used that then to kind of springboard into a couple of other entrepreneurship ventures, which then led me to co-founding Athenian with a business partner, because we wanted to make a fund that was different from the funds that we were interacting with when we were both founders.
Nice. That's a great reflection of you and how you're doing. I mean, listen, Juilliard is nothing to sneeze at either, but only in America you take a creative person in a creative industry and then also be able to make them into a business person, which is a rarity in itself. So I appreciate you sharing that with you. That's amazing. Now, what makes you different from other funds? There's a lot of venture capitalists. Everybody's trying to get the next big thing. What's your next big thing?
Of course, and that's a great question. So a lot of funds will say this, and it's true for Athenian too. Is it's first and foremost the people involved, and so there are 3 partners. We are all entrepreneurs at heart. So we've all gone through this process one way or another of starting a company, trying to raise funds either from family or friends or from angels and other VCs. All 3 of us have different experiences to that. My experience was in the Midwest. And God love you if you could find a venture capitalist, particularly in in 2013, who was focused on the Midwest. So we think about this differently and are thinking about the founders and the founder experience because we've been there. And so a lot of our systems are set up to help our founders. In addition to that, we are essentially the money ball of venture capitalists, and we're ahead of where a few other funds are. So we have a data scientist who's one of our partners. His background is actually working with US track and field, working with international Premier League soccer teams to scout potential of athletes at the early stage. And we have translated that over to startups. And so we have an assessment model that looks at our founders and 29 different parameters and essentially assigns them a score based off of their resilience, their grit, their health. And it helps us get out of our own bias and look at a founder from a position of, is this the right founder? Is this the right team in this market at this time? And it helps us make those decisions. And we truly believe this is where the future of VC is going. And we're just at the very start and the front of it right now.
That's amazing. That's definitely very innovative and a whole new way of taking a different industry and applying it to a new one. So that's amazing. Now that's doing it that way. How would somebody approach you guys? It's hard enough to be able to figure out how to pitch a fund. How would somebody approach you? How would they approach a fund like you?
Yeah, of course. And so you're right. There's a lot of ways to approach funds. The most often way I get right now is a LinkedIn message at the time of when a founder needs money. And to be honest, that's too little too late. What I will reply with is, thank you so much for reaching out. Please fill out a form on our website. And then we will look at that later. And that's, to be honest, a lot of funds do that as well. The real way to do this is to think about this as a relationship. Me as a venture capitalist, my goal is to meet as many amazing founders across the United States as I possibly can, because that's where the deal flow comes from. Like essentially at the end of the day, I'm investing in founders because maybe your first idea doesn't work out, but your second or third one is. And so I want to create a relationship. The best way really to do this is to start early, to reach out. I love it when founders reach out to me and say, hi, are you in my city? I'd love to take you out for coffee and ask your advice.
You would take the time to do that.
Oh yeah, I do it all the time because I travel around for work. I really do like working with founders. It's also me as in my founder days, loved the idea that there were people who took time out of their schedule to help out, to offer advice, and I like to give back in a certain way. That's also why I'm a mentor at MIT Sandbox and Yale Sci City, at Mass Challenge and a few other places because I want to help startups from the early stage. And just because you and I are having coffee doesn't mean that I'm going to invest in you, but it's the start of a relationship, and I can hear where you're going, what you're doing, and then when the time comes, if everything aligns of you need money, I'm looking to invest in a company like yours, then it's just like a match made in heaven. But that's the real way to do it. It just takes a little more effort, but it's how you develop relationships. And that's what this game really is about.
The fact that you're even willing to take the time to do it. I've been there myself, and just the fact that you're willing to take the time and share knowledge, bravo to you. I respect that, and I think that's amazing. I think that a lot of young people, or even experienced people, that are looking for that, and just a mentor or somebody says, hey, this is where I'm at, can you please give me some guidance? That's incredible. So that's amazing. Now, of course, you're not going to invest in everything. I think we talked about, not a sheep farm, but what industries are you looking for? What would you be interested in?
Sure. And you're right. Like all venture capitalists, and this is another part of like how to approach venture capitalists, is you have to do your homework. And so not every VC invests in every single company across the different industries at different stages. And so for us, we are early stage. And so if you're looking at seed, pre-seed, maybe a Series A, but our sweet spot is pre-seed, seed, venture capital, or a startup, and you predominantly have some kind of AI component. And so by that, I mean, you're not just using ChatGPT, you actually have the talent on staff who knows how to develop and build out these models to have an unfair advantage. And then from there, we're looking at different industries based on our backgrounds. And so I look a lot in what's happening in AEC, which is architecture, engineering, construction, also design, manufacturing, and media entertainment. My other business partners are interested in what's happening in sports, healthcare, and B2B SaaS. And so we have a variety of areas covered, but it really comes down to, are you the right team at the right place? And is there some kind of unfair advantage that you can utilize? And from there, we love having conversations with founders because, as I mentioned before, maybe now is not the right time for us to invest in your company, but that doesn't mean a year, 2 years from now won't be the right time. And we'll be there when the time is right with funds available.
Nice. That's beautiful. So, of course, the big question is, Yuri, how does anybody get in contact with you guys? How would they approach you guys? What's the best way to reach out to you?
Sure. So there's a number of ways to do it. Predominantly, if you're a startup and you really want to chat with the firm, the best way is to go to our website, which is athenian.capital. And from there are forms you can fill out, and then we will get back to you. If you're interested in chatting with me personally, and I speak with a number of actually artists who are looking at how to pivot into another industry, which I've done myself, or early stage founders. My personal website is yuricataldo.com. You can also find me on LinkedIn, and I do check my LinkedIn and my messages. Those are the best ways to really get involved. Or if you happen to be at a conference that I'm at, which I go to many conferences and I travel around the US a lot for work, I'd love to meet up for coffee, but you have to find me a little bit for that one. That's a little bit of extra work.
Track you down.
Yeah, to track me down. But I am always up for meeting for coffee, particularly if you're in the Boston area, which is where I live.
All right. You guys are watching. Make sure it's the good stuff, right?
That's right.
Yuri, thank you so much for your time. I hope to have you on the show again as we're looking at new innovations and trends in investing, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me, Hugh. It's an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much to your viewers.
Thank you. What a powerful and informative episode. We heard from two experts offering a wealth of knowledge on both strategic investments, the future of marketing, and brand strategies. These are the insights you need to stay competitive in today's business landscape. A big thank you to our guests for sharing their valuable perspectives and of course to our viewers for tuning in. Be sure to join us next time on Today's Money TV for more expert advice and strategies to help you grow and succeed. Don't forget to follow us on social media for daily tips, updates, and insight that can help you take your business to the next level. Until then, keep driving your business forward.